Hiya guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a special festive edition of metal detecting. So you've probably noticed, we've got Mr Tweed here, he's back, and we're all Christmas-y'd up. He's got a lovely bit of tinsel, we've got lots of tinsel on our detectors, and we definitely know that it's Christmas very soon. So we're really excited. We're in actually a brand new permission today, which is pretty risky, but we have decided to give it a good go because we do think it's going to be quite promising. And as you can see, absolutely glorious location. The sun's still coming up this morning. It's a Saturday, and we've got some lovely short grass to go into as well. So while people are out wrapping presents, eating mince pies and watching Christmas movies, myself and Mr Tweed are going to be out hitting these fields super hard to see if we can find anything good in them at all. And you guys are going to be coming along for the ride as usual. So with a bit of a plot twist today as well, me and Mr Tweed are going to have a little bit of a friendly competition. So we're going to see who gets the find of the day, and whoever does get the find of the day is the person that doesn't have to buy the beer in the pub later on. So hopefully that's going to be me, but I'm going to be filming, so I very much doubt that. But fingers crossed. And that leads me to say thank you very much for watching my video as always, and of course if you do like it, hit subscribe below, and if you do like the permission and you like what I do, then give me a thumbs up. And as usual guys, if you want to buy me a coffee, I know it's Christmas, you've got better things to be spending your money on, please don't feel like you have to, but if you can, then follow the link up there and that will lead you straight to where you can buy me a coffee and support what I do as well. So that's enough talking, we've got a lot of digging to do, let's get cracking. I'll see you on the first hole.
Right, I'm off, Michael. I'm not buying you a pint.
Oh yeah, you are. Yeah. And also, if he thinks he's wearing red tinsel, got a bit of a surprise. So I've just had my very first target today on our special festive dig, and it's a coin. It's a relatively old coin, but I can't really see exactly what age it is. I mean, on first inspections it probably looks like a Victorian or Georgian coin, something like that. But when I turn it over, it's either got a lot of corrosion on it or a lot of mud stuck to it, because it looks generally quite thick. Now, this could be potentially a Roman coin, judging by the size and the thickness, but it could obviously also be just a standard Georgian coin that's been left in the ground. However, first target, it's an absolutely great sign, so I'm just going to give it a quick clean up, and then we'll be able to have a look a little bit closer and see exactly what we're dealing with. Okay, so I have cleaned it up. The more I cleaned it, the more I realised that it actually probably is a relatively modern coin. It's very likely that this coin is probably 19th, 20th century, something like that, but it is completely battered. As you can see, we are quite close to an estuary and a river, and that's so evident with what's encrusted on this coin. It actually almost looks like it's a riverbed coin, judging by the bits of sand and things that are on the backside there. But oh well guys, it's still a nice find. Hopefully there's going to be some better stuff in here, so we've just got to push on. It's only the first one. Let's keep going. Okay, so looks like my second target of the day is a button. I wouldn't have said this one's tremendously old. Shank on the bottom there is quite squashed in, but Yeah, it's still a button and a coin so far. Can't be too bad, can it? We just got to push on, see what else comes out. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what Sam's come over and showed me. What have you just had, Sam?
A Christmas miracle. No, I think this is quite possibly the nicest buckle I've ever seen.
It is a beauty, isn't it? Absolute beauty.
It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm not quite sure of the age. You reckon about in the 16th century-ish?
I think it's 1600s, yeah, that particular shape with the floralettes and the points on each side. I'm pretty sure I've seen that in one of my books, and I'm pretty sure that is 1600s. But the good news is as well is we've scrubbed it up, haven't we? And we also think that it's possibly silver.
Yeah.
Which, to find a solid silver button from the 1600s buckle is really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's yeah. I mean it's phenomenal, and it's a really, really nice find.
Really nice.
Yeah, I still can't quite believe it's if it is silver, then yeah, that's.
We haven't even been
really
here that
nice.
long, have we? So.
No.
Where you find really nice buckles like that of high status, because you've got to imagine the person that had that buckle essentially was pretty high status, you know, had a bit of money spare, and they were obviously up here enjoying the lovely view of the estuary and stuff like that, and as they were up here they lost their lovely buckle. But what a great find, mate. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm chuffed with that.
Only really been here for what, half hour or so?
Yeah, at most. Yeah, I reckon that's, well, it might take some beating. You might be buying the pints tonight.
Okay, so my next target is a lovely lead musket ball. It's quite a typical sort of musket shot, this one as well. It's quite big, quite round, and yeah, certainly something you're not going to want to get hit by, that's for sure. So an interesting fact is we did a bit of research on this land, obviously, before we came in, and we actually found that in the bottom of this field where we are, right next to the estuary, used to be a very old firing range. It was like a volunteer rifles firing range, which dates back to the Napoleonic times, so around the 1700s. So to find a musket ball like this, which doesn't look tremendously old, to be fair, so it's probably of the later half of the 17th century, probably means we're on the right track, and probably means we're going to find an awful lot of them as well. But I don't mind, I'll find musket balls all day long. Nice bit of history, always a nice story behind them. But there's that one, let's keep going. Okay, so my next target in the field is another button. It's a Victorian button, little floral decoration one. Nothing particularly special, nothing particularly old. I'm certainly going to have to do a lot better if I'm going to beat Mr Tweed today, because I don't fancy buying the drinks today. But it looks like with his silver buckle, I might be the one buying. So I've got to keep pushing on. Hopefully, guys, we get something good. Do you know what? I almost thought I had it then, guys. I saw this lovely round shiny thing poking up through, and I thought, I've just found a hammered coin, and I cleaned it off and it was a pewter button. Absolutely typical. But oh well, still got a little way to go, but let's keep going. Okay, so I think I know what this is. I think I found part of a old barrel tap. Now you might remember on one of my previous videos I also found a complete barrel tap, and they were the things that essentially were portable items. You would be able to sort of stick them into the barrel, and then they would have a key on the top, and that would release the fluid. So essentially these were used for all sorts of things like water, beer, cider, pretty much anything they could get in a barrel. this is a very small fragment of a barrel tap, and you can tell because it's got the quintessential lines going across it, and of course it's a little bit sort of dome shaped there as well. And this probably dates to the 1800s, something like that. And it does mean that there were people in the field who were in need of some water or maybe some sort of refreshments, which is likely that this field was once an arable field, or certainly ploughed at some point as well. So there we are, it's just a barrel tap fragment, but let's keep pushing on. Oh, do you know what? For a moment there, I thought I had something super special. I turned the plug over, looked in the hole, couldn't find it, and then I was scratching around on the top and I uncovered something that looked gold. Come and take a look, see what I can see. Okay, so as I dug the hole, I looked in the top, scratched it away, and as you can see, something gold was poking through, but I don't think it's a coin. I think this is a livery button, which is really cool. Yeah, so you can see it was it's gold gilt, so basically means it was covered in gold. A really interesting thing about livery buttons is that they were actually commissioned by landowners and lords and things like that, and they were essentially for the lord and all of the staff and people that worked for them to wear. And there were certain companies, mainly in London, that made livery buttons, and they were all individually made with the heraldry of the person that owned that land, and it was basically an identifiable thing. Again, very privileged. You'd have had to have been very rich to have your own livery buttons and to hand them out to your staff, but that most certainly is a nice gold gilded livery button. Probably dates to the late 1700s, maybe middle 1800s, something like that. But that's not too bad. It's not the gold coin I thought it was at first, but I'll take it. That's really cool. Let's crack on, guys, see what else we can find. Okay, just had another big old musket ball there. So that's pretty evident, isn't it, that there's a lot of activity around here involving muskets and shots and things like that. So the research that we did with regards to the shooting field, or the target practice field at the bottom here, probably is true, judging by the amount of musket balls that we're finding. But I really don't mind finding them. I think they're really nice little round nuggets of history. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that's bought me a coffee. That being Gav, thank you very much, Gav, you know who you are, really appreciate it. And of course John, who's always commenting on the channel as well. John, you're a great guy, I really appreciate your comments, and he was very kind enough to actually buy myself and Mr Tweed a coffee this morning, which went down absolutely lovely. So I can't thank you enough, John. I don't actually know how to pronounce your surname, so I'll give it a go. Is it Rayard or Raygard or something like that? But yeah, I just wanted to say thanks very much to everybody that's bought me a coffee. Remember, it's really not expected, it's just a bonus. But if you can, and you know, of course, if you do, you will get a mention on the video, just like these guys have as well. But there we are, guys, just another musket ball. Let's keep going. Gonna beat Mr Tweed today, I'm absolutely determined. would you? Look at that. Oh, honestly, I thought this was going to be another silver coin, and yeah, it's another pewter button. It's quite a nice pewter button. It's got some sort of decoration on it, quite sort of florally, which probably means it's early Victorian, something like that. But honestly, for a moment there, I saw the silver bit shining, and I thought it was going to be a nice big silver coin. Signal was right, but it was not to be. It's another pewter button. Oh well. So I've actually moved down the bottom of the field now. The estuary's just right behind me here. Thought I'd give it a go down here, mix it up a little bit, see how we get on. But yeah, just a pewter button. Next time. Okay, just had another coin down the bottom half of this field, and it's quite a big coin. Looks like a penny, possibly Georgian. In fact, now I've given it a bit of a rub, I can clearly see that it's got George III's head on it. It's such a identifiable head because it's such a sort of small, it looks almost like a baby's head. But yeah, I'm pretty confident in saying that's probably a George III coin. So that's 1700s. All the way down here in the bottom of this field, that's not too bad, is it? So there we go, guys, that's another coin. Still got a long way to go to beat Mr Tweed, but I'm determined to do it, so let's push on. Okay, so I've had a little copper alloy item down here, and at first I thought it was just a bit of squashed copper pipe or something like that, but I've had a bit of a closer look at it, and I pretty much think that this is like a small dagger sheath or a blade sheath of some type. You can see on the back that it's got a slight split there, but you can see the two holes either side. Would have been used obviously just to fasten it together. Would have been quite a small blade, I imagine, this one, and in terms of age, maybe 1700s. It's got to match in with some of the other things that we've been finding in this field for sure, but yeah, there's that one. Still nowhere near a silver buckle, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get something good, so stay tuned. Oh wow, so looks like I've actually found something other than a musket ball. It's a small gilded button again. So it's two of these that I found today in a very similar area, because that earlier button I had was probably just 20 feet or so just over that way. So yeah, I'd say this was probably from the same sort of time frame, 1700, something like that. It was obviously gold gilded at one point, some really nice flowery decorations on the front. And yeah, okay, it's only a button, it's nothing to write home about. It's still a nice find, and as I said, certainly beats finding musket balls, because I have found so many of them in this field. My finds bag is so heavy, I've had to sort of do the belt up twice I think today already. So yeah, it's a nice change, but we've still got to push forward, we've still got to find something to beat Mr Tweed today, so let's keep going. Okay, I've actually had quite an interesting little object here. Don't get me wrong, there's no detail on it at all, well, not as far as I can see, but it looks to me like it's possibly some type of either a medal or possibly a cap badge or some type of badge. As you can see, it's sort of hexagonal, so it's almost like a sort of 50p type shape, but quite obviously it's not a 50p. It's got obviously a lot of damage to it, it's almost broken in half, but that's what makes me think that it is very possibly like a medal or cap badge, because of course this would have been designed to be stuck to someone's garment, or it would have been sort of hanging as an ornament. But without cleaning it up, I'm not going to be able to really see how much detail's left on it, but I think we're going to be able to get something on it. There's definitely some type of writing there. But at the moment I can't really see what's on there, but you know, it's still a nice little cap badge. It's obviously going to date to the activity that was in this field when they were here shooting and doing their target practicing. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with it, but let's carry on. We've got a couple of hours left. Hopefully I'm going to get something better than that silver buckle. Okay guys, so it's now about sort of 3:45, something like that. And as you can see, it's getting pretty dark already. And I've got to basically try and beat Mr Tweed today, otherwise I'm buying the drinks. And I'd rather him bought the drinks, to be honest. So I have literally been digging and digging and digging all day. I've had tons of musket balls, probably about 10 musket balls, and a couple of buttons which you've seen already. But I've got a secret weapon up my sleeve, and I've got about an hour left. And in this next field here, which I did a bit of research on, this particular field is right next to a very old quarry, and the lower half of the field was once called Springfield, so it may very well have had a spring in it. And if it had a spring in it, then potentially it could be an ancient spring, and you know, there could have been loads of people in there making offerings, getting their water and all sorts. So I'm going to go in there for the last hour and just see if I can inkle out anything good. It's got to be good enough to beat his silver buckle, otherwise I'm buying the drinks. So let's go guys, the last hour, wish me luck, let's see if we can get something. Okay guys, so been in the secret weapon field now for about 10 minutes or so, and I have found 3 targets, and all 3 of those targets have been more musket balls. Also, this field, although it's just over the hedge, seems to be a lot more sort of geologically active. There's a lot more sort of ground noise and stuff in this field as well, so I don't think this is going to be as easy as what I thought it would be. Plus, as you can probably tell, it is getting really dark, so I am going to try and push on guys, but I can't promise I'm going to be able to do it. But if I do, you guys will see it first. Hi guys, Merry Christmas. As you can see, we are no longer in the field. We're actually in the pub now, and we've got a well-earned beer to celebrate Christmas and the end of the year. And it's been not a bad day, is it, Mr Tweed?
It could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse. And I think we've got enough lead musket balls to sink a battleship now. So
we literally have found an entire army's worth of musket balls today. I was saying to Mr Tweed, actually, at the end of the day, my bag was so heavy that I don't understand how people carried that many musket balls around with them, because they wouldn't have been able to run very far, would they? And they would have just been dropping out everywhere. So yeah, I think it was a bit of a risk today, trying out a new permission, but it was, you know, it was worth a shot, wasn't it?
yeah, absolutely. And I think it was worth a shot, especially as we knew it was a sort of 1700s firing range. God knows what they could have dropped. And even if we didn't find anything, we knew we were going to have a pleasant day on the estuary. So.
And the other thing as well is we pretty much, everything I found and pretty much everything you found dated from that firing range as well. So it was really interesting to sort of get a sort of a glimpse. It was almost like stepping back in history, wasn't it? And just seeing all the things that were dropped, all of the activity in that field at that time, and actually holding it in your hand as well. So I think that's one of the best things about metal detecting, isn't it? It is like time travel.
Definitely cool. Definitely. So many of the musket balls we found were squashed, and the last person to touch them would have loaded them into an Enfield rifle or whatever they use. I'm not old enough for that, but they would have been shot onto a target, dropped onto the floor, and stayed there for 300 years. It's just, I wonder who was the last person to touch that musket ball.
Yeah, so that's it. That's pretty much the end of our day. We finished in the pub. We started bright and early. It's been bitterly cold recently, so it's quite nice to be inside in the warm, isn't it?
Definitely.
And we just want to wish you guys all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I just want to thank everybody for watching the channel, watching my videos, everybody that's liked, bought me a coffee and interacted and commented. You know, really means a lot to me, and it does egg me on to make more videos. Just so you know, Mr Tweed here did have the find of the day. So the beer that we are drinking was bought by myself.
Thank you very much, much obliged.
I tried so hard to beat him. We stayed in that field till it was pitch black as well, and yeah, couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It got to the point where it was so dark, wasn't it, that we couldn't even see what we were digging out. So without shining a light or anything like that, we just couldn't do it. So yeah, the beer was on me tonight, but next time, Mr Tweed.
Who'd have thought a measly little buckle would win me a pint of beer?
Stunning buckle though, isn't it? Stunning buckle. Anyway guys, Merry Christmas. Hit subscribe, of course, if you do like the video. There's going to be plenty more to come. 2023 is going to be filled with loads of new permissions, new fields to go in, and hopefully some really interesting finds. So guys, thank you again. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.